Harvey Deutschendorf here, author of The Other Kind of Smart, Simple Ways to Boost Your Emotional Intelligence for Greater Personal Effectiveness and Success. The book's also available in Chinese, in Vietnamese, as well as in Arabic. So if you speak any of those languages or read, it's available in those as well. Imagine if you could develop better relationships with the people that you want to develop strong relationships with, those close to you, those that you want to get closer to you. Imagine what that would mean to your sense of well-being, to the quality of your life. Well, the main thing about developing better relationships is something called empathy, developing empathy. A lot of people confuse empathy with sympathy. They're somewhat similar, but they're also fairly different. They both come from the Greek word pathos, which means invoking pity, sympathy, or sorrow. When we have sympathy for somebody, we can feel sorry for them, we can have compassion for them, we'll feel pity for them, but we do so at a distance. We're not really directly involved with them. We may even feel like we're lucky that we're not in their situation, in their shoes. With empathy, we have a direct connection to the person. Daniel Goleman talks about empathy as having three different levels. The first level is when we see things from the other person's perspective. We can actually share a mutual language to talk about it. The second level is when we sense what another person is feeling. The third level of empathy is when we sense to the degree that we're actually moved to take action. We want to actually do something about the situation. The way to develop empathy is to become a good listener. When somebody else is speaking, a lot of times we're busy thinking about our response, what we're going to say, and we're not really listening. We need to really listen. We need to really listen to their, not only words, the tone of voice, their posture, the way they're coming across, and we need to really pay attention to that and not think about our response. The way to develop empathy is to be curious. When watch movies with friends, family, talk about the different characters, how they're feeling, and why you think they're feeling that way. It's also an interesting thing we can do when there are people watching. You can turn it into a fun exercise. Just let your curiosity run wild and look at somebody and say, well, what do you think they're feeling? What do you think they're going through? One of the most difficult things for us when we're with relating to other people is when somebody is dying or when they've lost somebody really, really close to them. We really don't know what to say, and something we shouldn't say is, I know how you're feeling, because, well, we really don't know how they're feeling because we may have experienced something similar, but we all process it differently, so we really don't know how they're feeling. Well, it's okay to say is, I can just imagine what you're going through, because it's honest. We can imagine what you're going through, but we really don't know. If somebody's dying, it's difficult to know what to say. What not to say is, it's going to be okay, because they know it's not going to be okay. And it may make them feel alienated or isolated. If they want to talk about it, then they may want to talk about it. They may not, but if they do, all we need to do is just to be there for them, just to listen. It's probably uncomfortable, but we just need to be there. And one of the things that makes empathy difficult for us, I think, is our need to be able to fix a situation. I mean, we're looking for a quick fix, a solution, and we just need to be there to listen. And I think it's probably men more so that want to fix the situation. More difficult to listen than women. But we need to just stay in our place of maybe being uncomfortable and listen. One of the benefits of empathy is that it brings us closer to people. It makes our relationships more meaningful. It deepens them. The longest term study that's been done has just come out. It's a 75-year study that Harvard carried out, and it concludes that the number one reason that makes people happy is the relationships that they formed with other people. And there's no better way, there's no more effective way than developing better relationships and developing our empathy. Brene Brown talks about empathy as being an antidote to shame. Shame is something we all feel. It's quite toxic. It's destructive. So empathy is a great antidote for developing that. But empathy isn't only a good thing for developing our personal relationships, which will make us happier. It's also a professional asset, and it's becoming more widely recognized as that. People who hire in empathy are people we want to be around, we want to work with, we want to do things for. They want to do things for us. There's a lot of research coming out that leaders that are higher in empathy are more successful. They're more productive. They're able to get things done because people want to work for them. They want to do things for them. I hope you've enjoyed today's session, and thanks for tuning in. I'm going to have some more videos coming out shortly about other areas of emotional intelligence, for example, self-awareness and self-regard. So thanks for tuning in, and stay tuned.